Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you may be, in or out of the planet. If you hear any background noise, it's the washing machine going. And what I'm going to do is, in celebration of receiving some stamps in the post today from eBay, we're going to have a look at stamps in space. Stamps in space. How wonderful. They are really beautiful stamps, which I've received today. Anyway, we'll have a look at, it's a thing, isn't it? Stamps is a thing, as is space, and you put them together, and blow me, what you've got is some exciting, some beautiful, and some collectible, and some enjoyable, fun, collecting these wonderful works of art. Okay, we will remove. Now, have I got my scraper with me? When I say scraper, I mean, there's my... I don't know where it is, so it will have to be... I've had it earlier, but it's maybe disappeared. Just have a look at some of these stamps as I'm rooting around, rooting and tooting. No, can't be found, so I'll have to use this as a pointer. I have shown these before, and I did talk excuse me, about one or two of them, but the ones I've received today start from here, and the stamps I've received are all from the CCCP, which, as we have learned, is the USSR, which we have learned is the Soviet Socialist Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is there's a lot of stuff to look up and to discuss and to talk about. And I'm not going to do that with the stamps today. Maybe I'll have a look at some a little bit later on. But I thought what we do is have a look at the stamps themselves and have a look at the years. So here we have a 10 kopeck, 1974, celebrating a previous mission in 1973. Two characters there in the Makarov, if I can make that out, because M-A-K-A-P is the R-O, is the V, Makarov, the B is the V. Yeah, so that's quite nice. We have two more characters, Smiley, and again, it's a kopeck. It's possibly the same year. Could be the same series, 1975, maybe. So maybe it's a year after, but look how beautiful these are. Look how wonderful they are. Look what's appeared. Beamed down into my very hands. So here we have two cosmonauts. Because these were cosmonauts, not astronauts. And we named them also. Can't quite make out the name. And then we go again to another. It's exciting stuff here. 1975. Sci-fi is all the rage because of the space race betwixt and between the USA and the USSR, the CCCP. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was in a foment about it. Everybody wanted to rush to the stars, and of course with some tragedies along the way. But it was wonderful times, which strangely don't exist anymore now that we have the technology now, or as some say, it's all lost. Others say we've been warned off. By who, we don't know. And here we have something coming through like a black hole. So these are beautiful stamps that really talk about a period of world history. Look at this landing on, whoa, I don't know where, but Lenin makes an appearance on this strange new world. Wow. Again, 10 kopeck, so Lara money. Here we've got a sort of drawing, isn't it? 1976, Moscow cancelled there, possibly cancelled to order. I don't know. Okba, anyway, Moscow. Mokba. My Russian is worse than my Irish, but you know, it's a nice old stamp there. Here's somebody communicating as somebody's floating around. Very nice. And here we have another spinning object, maybe. You know, there are a lot of different sort of shapes and sizes of space vehicles going in and around. Look, there's a mobile phone in and around. No, it's not. It is actually possibly catching the sun for solar energy. Who knew? Anyway, inflation has hit and it's up to 12 kopecks for this. Oh dear. We have some more standing uppy ones here. So we've got re-entry into space here, landing on the moon, or certainly landing on some sort of surface, doing some sort of investigations around weather or geography or any, you know, whatever they do up there, and maybe going for a spin in one of these. Of course, man wasn't on. I don't think man was on any of these. These would have been probes, maybe. Probe. And here we have... did Russians ever actually land on the moon? I don't know. They must have done, surely. Here we go back in time to 10 kopecks, so 1971 again. And we got Earth there. That's nice. Then we have Mission Control. Again, cancelled, hasn't been through the post. I'm not convinced, but I'm interested in the stamps at the moment. Shooting stars, galaxies, suns, moons. Yeah. Lenin make an appearance again. Well, he gets everywhere, but, you know, it is their sort of politics, isn't it? They believe that the fact that they are sending people and probes and, rockets into space shows that communism does work, that it's worth the effort. 16 kopecks. 12, 12, 10. 71. Were they the same year? We come to some bigger stamps now. Okay, the year is 1969. A rocket somewhere. A racketa. Not sure where, but it's a lovely colourful pink and yellow science, sci-fi stamp. Here we have another character who is wise. He looks wise and he looks brave. 1969, 10 kopecks, good stamp. And here we have, woo, slingshot around the moon, around Earth. Wow, that is wonderful. That is a 1968 stamp. And finally we have these four. What we've got is another 10 kopeck, 1974, two characters, you know, brave and happy and fulfilled. You know, these are wonderful stamps that show a time when people were brave. People had to be brave. They were going up where no person had been before. Well, a few had been, but... And here we have another cosmonaut, Aeronautique. Again, it's Russian, but it's got Federation Aeronautique Internationale. Yuri Gagarin, that is. So, possibly in 1971 there was a conglomeration of all space-faring nations. Britain used to have one. They used to take off from British Guyana, I believe. Russia used to take off from the far end of Russia towards the eastern part, out of the way of prying eyes. And the Americans, I think, Cape Cod or Cape Canaveral, yeah, still do. And finally, we have this stamp, which again is there's stuff to see in these stamps, stuff to identify and to translate and to, what was going on there in their space program. Well, as we've got a couple of more minutes left, so we'll go back to the first one and we'll have a little look. 1974, this is Soyuz 12. So when we see here 12, it's Soyuz. That's how it's spelled. And this character here is Vasily Lazarev. He was a test pilot, and this was his amigo, Oleg Makarov. They were test flight pilots. Now, these were particularly brave because this was coming on the back of Soyuz 11. So with Soyuz 11, there was a bit of a tragedy going on there. 3 cosmonauts took off fine. The space station was up there. There was a space station up there. And they boarded the space station, spent whatever time they had to spend up there, not long, and then came back onto their vehicle. And as we're re-entering, so during re-entry they call it, unfortunately the caps were all depressurised, and they, not these two, but the people in Soyuz 11 died due to depressurisation. So these two characters had to go up in an improved version, and it was a safety test basically. So they were up there for a number of hours. I think it was over 24 hours anyway. So repeating the steps to ensure that it didn't happen again, that they'd solve the problem of Soyuz 11. Actually, the two who died are the only, apparently, it needs researching, but they're the only cosmonauts to have died in space. They're the only astronauts. They're the only people they're the only humans who have gone into space and died in space. Everyone else has returned. Is that a fact? Can that be a fact? I don't know. I saw it as a fact, read it as such, but do your own research. Anyway, what else do we know about Vasily here? Vasily died at the age of 62 in 1990, so he was quite young, but he had been injured in a subsequent mission, Soyuz 18A, in 1973, which is a couple of years later, or a year later. Sorry, 1975, which is a couple of years later. Makarov here, he lived till the age of 70, he died 2003. In total, with his missions, he clocked up 20 days, 17 hours in space. How wonderful. So, I hope you'll agree with me that space stamps are they are uber interesting. They're too interesting. There is too much to learn, there's too much to see, there's too much to enjoy. Is it possible to have a overload of stamp collecting fun with space? Is this why space stamps are reputedly very expensive, though these were unreputedly fairly cheap? I got 1, 2, 3 book on my shoe, 1, 2 book on my shoe, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19 I got for £3.50. So, I wanted them. Possibly they're worth a penny each, but I wanted them, and I got them. Anyway, return now to planet Earth, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks for watching, and remember, stamp collecting is fun. Enjoy your day. Bye for now.